What's up, Hebrew Israelites? Once known as African Americans. Let me put my, I don't know what you call this thing, but shows my blackness. Anyway, my mother, she made me go to church all my life. I can't even remember missing a day of church. She told us that until we graduate from high school, we are going to church every single Sunday. And believe me, I think I can remember missing 3 or 4 Sundays. That was it. And if they were having a program, that means you're going back to church Sunday night. But anyway, I was troubled and I wanted to speak at my mother's funeral. And I was really, I knew what I was going to say wasn't going to go over good with the congregation. But it seemed like every night I was forced to give this speech. And what it was about was me and my mother, we had religious conversations here and there. One of the conversations was about Jesus being black. And as long as I could pull it up in the Bible, my mother wouldn't say anything. But if I was wrong, I would know it. Because she's like that spiritual song, I shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. If you were wrong, she was going to let you know. She never lied. And if you were wrong, she was going to let you know. But when I told her that Jesus was black, she just sat there quietly and didn't say anything. And that was a sign that I was right. But in this church, there was a 6-foot picture of a white Jesus. And I didn't question my mother why the church had this picture up there when the Bible clearly states that Jesus was black. I didn't question her, but the silence was good enough. It was good enough. And at the new church, the picture didn't go up. When she was in the nursing home, and this was about a couple weeks before she passed, we had a conversation. And I asked my mother, I said, Mom, are you familiar with Deuteronomy in the Bible? And she said, yes, I'm familiar with it. I know she's familiar with it because my mother not only was she a Sunday school teacher, she was assistant pastor one time, and she was a bishop, and she taught at a lot of different churches in and out the state. And I can say for sure, every morning since the day she retired, the first thing she did was had her brand, and then she read her Bible every morning consistently. So when I asked her if she was familiar with Deuteronomy 30, the question was rhetorical. So she replied, yes. So I told my mother, I said, do you know Deuteronomy 30 described the chosen people as having iron yokes around their necks? And she said, yes, I know that. And I said, well, do you realize that they also had the men had their wives taken from them and raped? And she said, yes, I know that. I said, and also mothers and fathers would have their children sold. And she said, yes, I know that. And I also said, well, it says in the Bible that these people would plant grapes and they would not drink the wine. And she said, yes, I know that. And I said, Ma, those people were slaves. She says, yes, I know that. And I said, Ma, we are God's chosen people. She didn't say anything. So I know that she agreed. But a funny thing happened was that the nurse came in. And they always give elderly people these little mental tests to see if they're always there. My mother was sharp till the day she passed, because she was one of those people who read every morning. And one thing I know as being a mailman, I delivered mail to nursing homes. And I realized people who did a lot of elderly people who did a lot of reading all their life, they were always sharp. People who did not exercise, you would always go in there and they had failed, or they had failed, bruised their face, bruised their arm consistently. And that's how I could tell who read a lot and who didn't. And the ones who walked around and were sharp, they weren't they weren't there a lot. They weren't there. They'd just be wandering around. But this is to say that my mother was sharp. But anyway, when the nurse came in to give her this little mental, or the helper came in to give her this little mental test, one of the first questions she asked my mother was, "Are you a Christian?" And my mother said no. Because one thing my mother don't do is lie. And she recognized the fact that she was a Hebrew Israelite. And she's also, according to Deuteronomy 28, and Deuteronomy 30, I believe it says that you have to recognize that you are a Hebrew Israelite to be saved. And you also have to follow the Ten Commandments. And my mother did that. So I think that was, and I told them about it at the church. I didn't tell them about my mother transitioning to being a Hebrew Israelite, but when I spoke, I did say that I put it in there that the conversation, and I said that we are Hebrew Israelites, although I didn't put the part in there about the nurse's response, because I talked to my brother about it, and he was like, "Oh, you sure you want to say that? You're destroying our mother's legacy." And then I talked to my cousin, and she said the same thing. But the reality of the situation is that we as African Americans, we got to stop trying to be blind-minded. We have to stop being blind-minded. We have to stop being blind-minded. If it's in the Bible, it's in the Bible. Recognize it and say it. Don't let obstacles interrupt our intelligence. Because every year, Look magazine comes out with a picture of a white Jesus on it. Every Christmas they come out with that. And it's a lie. It's a lie. The Shroud of Turin is a lie. The Bible states that the Israelis are the synagogue of Satan. And there's proof to that. What they're doing to the Palestinians. The fact that they can't handle, the fact that they lead the world in skin cancer. Because they can't live there. And then when you consider that the police chiefs here are being trained in Israel. And we know how violent they are, and all the people that have been shot, killed, white and black, and not in the police department didn't get sued. The cities got sued. We got sued. That money should be taken out of their retirement. Then all that crap will stop. But I say this to say that it's time for us, I don't care whether you're white or black, to start following the Bible and stop being blind-minded. And by blind-minded, I mean seeing the truth and ignoring it. That's being blind-minded, seeing the truth and ignoring it. We got to stop this, folks. And when we start following the Bible like we're supposed to, there will be no wars, and 1% will no longer control us, because we can take them to court and then we can show them the Bible. Now they say that the Bible is the most read book in the world. So why don't we trust it? Why don't we trust it? That's all I got for you. And you all have a great new year, and I'll see you around. Take care.